Hello and welcome. My name is Gabrielle Celeste, and you are listening to the Spiritual Sisters podcast.
Hi. I'm Nichole. I'm Nichole Christine. I'm a very annoyed Nichole.
She's
Sorry.
having a bad day. No, not even
She's
a bad
having
day.
a
About
moment.
20 minutes.
This is so dumb.
The video that we're using, I can see her, but she can't see me. And she's like, I'm going to be so annoyed if I can't see you this whole time. And I get that.
Yeah. And I'm annoyed.
We pray to Archangel
Oh, you're back.
Gabrielle. Oh, okay. There we go.
Oh, she's happy again. Yay. Okay.
Yay.
Hey,
This is a great video.
guys. I'm back. I'm back. Hello. This is Nichole Christine.
And she's 40 bitches.
I'm 40.
Nah, you look good. You ain't tore up like our dad says.
What's that movie? 13 going on 30? It's like 30, flirty, and thriving. But I'm like, not 30, flirty, and thriving. I'm the opposite.
Oh, we got to come up with the phrase. You're so good at that. You need to come up with the
phrase. I can't do it right
and
now.
Coin it. Okay. Well, something to think
about.
I
need to think about it. Yeah. 40, frothy, and I don't know.
Feisty?
Let me think about it. And what?
Feisty.
Feisty? Oh. 40, frothy, and feisty? Yeah.
Feisty something.
Something. Okay.
Well, aside from that, how are you doing?
Aside from that, I'm okay. We just got back from Vegas for our birthday. Husband last minute was like, let's go to Vegas. Before we started dating, he had only been like twice. God damn it. You're gone again. Anyways, I'm going to talk to you still. He had like not been to Vegas. He wasn't a big Vegas guy. And he was just in Vegas a few weeks ago. And he wanted to go again for our birthday, for my birthday. So we did. And yeah, aside from that, we are in summer break for school, trying to get his little butt in activities because I still have to work. But we have a trip coming up and he has no idea. So he's going to be really excited. Yeah, because then he'll just ask every day.
Oh.
So we haven't told him yet.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's up with you?
You know, summer solstice, bringing in that hot girl summer energy officially. I'm good though. I'm just cruising, just putting in that work, baby, and I'm calling in a lot of social energy and just fun because it's been a lot of work and little play. And summer is my favorite time of year, so I'm just trying to be a jacarera, if you know what I mean.
So today we are finishing our dreams episode from June 6th, episode 10. If you haven't listened to that one, go back and give it a listen and then listen to this one. I was really excited to do dreams. I remember when we had talked about doing this as an episode, the excitement was real. And then I think I lost steam. And then it got boring. And then
because we recorded it. This is our third recording for this topic.
And then we had to redo it. And then it was just so much that we needed, yay, you're back, that we needed a second part 2. So here's part 2. Part 2 today. And I was thinking, I was like, oh, a good check-in would have been to talk about maybe some cool dreams we've had recently. And I know I've had some, but I don't write them down. And so I couldn't think of any on the spot as far as like any recent dreams I might have had. But can you think of any?
Yeah, actually I had one last night and
it was a
sex dream.
Oh.
Very recent, but it got interrupted as they always do because so I may have mentioned this in the last episode, but apparently when you have sex in a dream, it means that you are literally doing that with someone else in another dimension. And And every time I see your face, because we just got the same notification. Wait, this is so cool. I was like, I'm so glad that's on camera.
How did that happen?
Because I
I was
tagged
gonna.
them in a reel.
Oh, I was gonna tag them in that reel. Okay.
I,
Good thinking. Great minds think alike. Oh,
I'm so glad that is
cool.
on camera.
Oh, that
Fangirls.
was super cool.
Fangirls.
Oh my
Okay, so we posted a reel. I'm
God.
not going to talk too much about it, but we like are manifesting working with certain people. And we tagged this other podcast that we're big fans of in the podcast, in the reel that we posted on our podcast page, and they just followed us. So we're so good.
Oh my gosh. So we're being followed by a couple of the podcasts that,
We're
I
such
mean,
fangirls.
yeah, like Graveyard Tales. I've been listening to them for years. They've been following us for a while too, this new one. And then just like the smaller new podcasts like us too, Behind the Shadows and The Wine Time, and then Behind the Emerald Veil, but they're not new. They've been around for a while.
I'm
But
so
I
excited.
love this. I love this little podcast community. Oh,
Yay.
okay.
Look at us. Okay, so having sex with someone else in a dream. Anyways, my guides block it every single time. It never actually happens because apparently when you're doing that, it's actually you doing that in another dimension. But it was really weird because I had COVID in the dream. Isn't that strange?
Oh, so you were just
Yeah, I was like,
passing around your COVID
pass
like a cochina?
while getting down. While getting down.
I didn't even do that with my husband. When I had COVID, we were masked up in the car. I was in a different bedroom, masked up around the house. I wasn't
Yeah,
spreading it around.
we're
But
sharing the love.
apparently you do.
Well, in
Okay,
another
so
dimension. Okay,
maybe germs don't exist over there.
maybe I don't know.
Let's jump into dreams again. So to kind of recap last episode, Gabs, you were talking a lot about the meditative and like brainwave states. Like you went really deep into that. You got really into it too. You sounded very well versed in it. Like you should have
Well,
been
thank you for
teaching a
saying
course.
that because I just did the research a couple days before that, and I was very fascinated. Just because, like, I think it's really cool that our brain is literally going into different states when we're doing this work, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, if I ever do plant medicine, is my brain going to be okay?
That's the question, right? That I have too.
Yeah.
But okay, so today will be definitely more of a focus on the dreams. I think the last episode was more of parts of the dreams, but this will be more specific to types of dreams and things like that. So pull it up. Okay. So just some kind of fun facts about our dreams. We forget 90% of our dreams within 5 minutes of waking up.
Mm-hmm.
And within, no, that's not the stat. That happened last time too. Start over. You forget 50% of your dreams within 5 minutes of waking up, and within 10 minutes of waking up, 90% of them are gone. So, right, I was trying to think earlier, okay, like I know I've had dreams and they're fresh in my mind, but then and I'll write them down and then I forget them. Most people do. Fact number 2, blind people dream. So blind people or people that are blind will dream in the way that they perceive the world. So, right, so they're not seeing things visually, but they're hearing, they're smelling, they're tasting, they're feeling. So that's what their dreams are going to consist of also. So just all of their senses that they use in everyday life. Fact number 3, everybody dreams. And I know so many people say, oh no, I don't dream. No, you do. But let's go back to fact number 1. You just forget them very quickly. And yeah, I was listening to Destiny of Souls I'm on that one now. I finished Journey of Souls and now I'm on Destiny. Very good.
You're killing it with the books, by the way. I'm just so impressed by like the way that you get that time in. I'm like, God, like very impressed. Keep it up.
Well, I do it. I listen to my positive affirmations on the way to the gym in the mornings, and then on my way home from the gym is when I get in my audiobook time. And if it's a really good one and I want to finish it, even with podcasts, I'll shower with my earbuds in. But I have like my hair covered, and because I use a shower cap when I shower, so it's all nice and protected. So I'm plugged in all the time. Let's see. Okay, so anyway, he was saying in that book that how dreams have different responsibilities, or I guess different roles. So some of them are going to be to connect you to the spiritual world, which is, what that what that book is talking about. And then the other part is just to kind of make sense of everyday things that are going on in your life and to kind of filter out the things that don't need to be there. So dreams have functions. I got my word. Dreams have different functions. So to connect you to the spiritual world and then to just kind of filter out all the nonsense. So fact number 4, we only see faces that we already know, which I thought was really interesting because I know there's been so many times that I have dreams and I think, I don't know who this person was. Do you ever have that?
Yeah, all the time. Every dream.
Yeah.
That's always randoms.
Yeah. And I remember the last time we recorded this, I was talking about a dream that I had where this man was like making food for me and they were throwing me a party and I didn't know who he was. And even in my dream, I was like, who is this person? And he's like, oh, I just really want to celebrate you. And I want to, do all this. And I'm like, but who are you? Well, apparently it's a face that I know. But even when I woke up, I was like, I don't know who that was. But apparently we only see faces we know. And I think the piece of this that they were saying was that we see so many faces just on a daily basis. Think about how many new faces we encounter every day. So I guess that makes sense, if you're just kind of passing by somebody. But apparently we know these faces. Fact number 5, not everybody dreams in color. So about 12% of people dream exclusively in black and white. And they were saying this number was a little bit higher back in the day. So if we think back to before there was color TV, people were maybe more likely dreaming in black and white, which made me think, though, yes, TV was in black and white, but life isn't in black and white. So if you're dreaming about like your world and your reality, wouldn't you dream it in color? I don't know. What do you think? I thought that was kind of an interesting idea.
Yeah, I would think you're dreaming in color, but that's an interesting concept. I feel the same way about languages, honestly. Like, if you know multiple languages, are you speaking your native tongue in dreams or are you speaking the languages that you know?
Yeah. Okay. Fact number 6, dreams are typically symbolic. So if you dream about a specific person, it isn't necessarily that you're dreaming about that person, but it could be more of that archetype of that person. So I remember before we started dating and my husband was talking about some dreams he had. So part of his education training was that because of he is also a therapist like I am. That's one of his many hats. And so one of the things that they had to do was they had to do their own therapy for that. And so the guy that he went to specialized in dreams. And so that's all they would do. They would just kind of talk about his dreams and he would have dreams about, because, we were friends, we knew each other. And I remember I would try to translate the dreams the way I thought they were, or kind of very literally, because me, I'm very literal. And he said, no, the therapist said it's the archetype that he represents. And I said, well, what does he represent? Well, he represented the golden child.
Aww. I love
Oh, I
that.
know. He's so cute. So, yeah,
So
it's
cute.
not necessarily that he was dreaming about the golden child. And it's so funny because, yeah,
Okay.
let's see.
So the archetype
Oh,
of the golden child is my
the
godson.
archetype, the archetype of the golden child was my child. And I want to say that maybe my husband's family, I think maybe his grandma. No. Oh, no, I'm confusing him with Shaw's of Sunset and the golden penis. Moving on. Moving on. Squirrel. Okay. Let's see. Oh, number 7. People tend to dream in the language that they speak, primarily, even if they speak multiple languages. So if
Wild.
somebody speaks, yeah, so think about in Europe, right? They all speak so many languages, but
Mm-hmm.
they're going to dream in their primary language. So maybe the language that they learned first, if
Mm-hmm.
that's their primary language. Number 8, the most common emotion in dreams is anxiety. And just in general, kind of like negative emotions are more present in dreams than positive, which makes sense. I feel like a lot of times we're dreaming about things that we fear or things that we're sad about. Fact number 9, you can have 4 to 7 dreams in one night, and you can have dreams within dreams. And like the movie Inception.
Mm-hmm.
And that's such a good movie. I've been wanting to rewatch it.
Because Dad loves Leonardo DiCaprio, so he's about
He
those films.
he does, and we all saw it together. I remember
Mm-hmm.
for sure it was the 3 of us. I don't remember if our other sister was with us, but number
Mm-hmm.
10, animals can dream too. And I was reading something yesterday that said, and I don't know how they figured this out, but that dogs tend to dream about their owners like all the
Hmm.
time. Let's see. Number 11, we can incorporate external stimuli into our dreams. So, for example, when you have, like, if you're waking up to music and maybe in your dream, you think you're like at a concert because you're hearing the music, and then you wake up and it's like, oh no, it's actually the alarm. That's happened to me so many times. We have this fancy alarm that
Mm-hmm.
does the light and the sounds, and it does the sounds of birds, and they're so realistic. They are so realistic. And the first time I woke up to it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like amazing. This is a great way to wake up. And I heard the birds chirping, and I was like, oh, cool. And it was early in the morning. Husband had to get up and go to work, and then he left. Well, a few hours later, I woke up and I was like, oh shit, he forgot to turn the alarm off, but it was actually like the real birds outside of the window. But,
Yup.
the external stimuli. So, number 12, men and women dream differently. Men are going to dream more about other men, and women are going to dream the same or equally between men and women. So, I think they said men dream about like 70% of men, or 70% of their dreams include other men. And for women, it's more of a split, more like 50-50. Number 13, some people experience precognitive dreams. And so they were saying they've done some studies, and between 18 to 38% of people have experienced at least one precognitive dream, and 70% of people have experienced deja vu. Have you ever done either?
Mm. I want to say yes.
Precognitive dreams too?
Yeah, actually, because that's predictive. And so I, yeah, I have deja vu pretty often now that I think about it because I know I was texting my best friend and
I'm your best friend.
I was like, you're my soulmate, actually. And I was married to you before you were married to your husband, whether he knows it or not.
He knows. He is
Yeah,
aware.
he is aware. He's having his awakening before he knows it, guys. Stay tuned because of all the work Nicole's doing. But I was visiting her home. They just moved into a new space, which is beautiful. And I was like, oh my God, I had deja vu. I've seen this before. And it's usually always two
Mm,
years in advance, but I don't remember it until it like happens and it's like hours later.
yeah. Yeah, I've never had the precognitive dreams, but I've had a lot of deja vu. I used to have it a lot when I was younger, and then I've had it not as much as I've gotten older, but I've had it. I would say it kind of shut down for a while, and then recently it's turned on a little bit, but not a lot.
Does it
Number
scare you?
14. No.
Oh, okay,
Mm-mm.
good. Good, good, good.
Number 14, if you're snoring, you can't be dreaming, which I think is kind of interesting because I snore all the time. And I know I dream all the time too, but apparently you can't do both. Number 15, you can have an orgasm in your dream. I've
Haven't
never
had one of
had.
those.
What?
I haven't had one of those in a dream.
Oh, I thought you said you have. I was like, oh.
I'm like, stay tuned,
Mm.
guys. Sacral upgrade coming.
No,
As
yeah,
predicted by Chelsea.
I've never had one of those. I've had dreams where I've wet myself in a like literally like wet myself. Like I think I'm peeing. Oh, that used to happen. Yeah, a lot. And it happens. I mean, it still happens. It happens at least twice a year. And then it wakes me up, and then I have to like feel around the bed because I think I peed the bed. But I mean, thank God I never have. But I have dreams all the time that happens, and I can feel it. It's so crazy.
I've never peed in a dream ever.
Oh my God, I do it all the time. Well, not all the time, at least twice a year. It's kind of crazy. And let's see, number 16, your brain paralyzes your body when you're sleeping to keep you from acting out your dreams. So this is typically going to occur in REM sleep. And REM is rapid eye movement. So that's when your brain is kind of like processing information. So your eyes are going to be moving back and forth while you're sleeping. Really similar to the work I do in EMDR, except the people are awake when I'm doing it with them. But it's the same idea. Your brain is just reprocessing information to make sense of things. And sometimes the body paralysis is going to be triggered. So your body's not going to move before, during, or after normal sleep. And so let's just say you've woken up, but your brain and your body are not in sync. So you're awake, but your body is still paralyzed. Your brain has still paralyzed your body. And that's what's going to be known as sleep paralysis. So we're going to touch on sleep paralysis, but I was just thinking about it. We were watching this show the other day on Apple. I don't know what it was. Peacock. I think it's called Evil. Wait, I gotta look this up now.
Okay. Is it demonic?
Oh. So kind of, but not really. Yeah. So it's on. I don't fucking know what it's on. No, 3 seasons. Oh yeah, has it been out that long? I thought it just came out. It's crazy. So, it's on Paramount, I guess. Paramount. 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's really good. It's kind of spooky. Husband was watching it the other day, and I think I was editing a podcast. So I was trying not to watch it because I was like, I don't want to watch anything that's like demonic. Like I'm not trying to call that in. But it was really interesting because it was more kind of like psychological, where they were trying to figure out this man committed a crime, and they're trying to figure out, was it demonic or was it a psychological thing? So like the church, this, I don't even want to call him a wannabe priest, but this man that wanted to be a priest hired this psychologist to come on and do these testings, or to do these interviews for the man that committed the crime. Anyway, she starts experiencing sleep paralysis, or does she? So it's kind of crazy because it makes you wonder, where it goes back and forth between the scientific explanation and then, oh shit, but we can't explain this with science. So it's kind of cool. Like it jumps back and forth. It's really interesting. But one of the things that she was thinking was, well, no, this is just sleep paralysis. And the things that were coming up, we'll talk about it when we get there. So Gabby, tell us. But it was actually really good. I was like, oh, I could kind of watch this because it wasn't so scary and demonic. Like it was a lot of like psychological, sciencey mixed in with what is it?
But is it?
It was
Yeah,
yeah,
like everything.
yeah. Okay, so tell us about the types of dreams.
There's quite a few, guys, but we narrowed it down to 7 because why not? So, types of dreams include daydreams. We have false awakening dreams, which is linked or likened, I should say, to sleep paralysis, which Nichole was just talking about. We have healing dreams, lucid dreams, nightmares, which is pretty common, prophetic or deja vu type dreams, and reoccurring dreams. So, daydreams, I mean, that one's pretty straightforward. You kind of get lost in your thoughts midday and you fantasize. I actually found myself doing that today, and I was like, I almost wonder if like my guides are trying to give me like downloads and transmissions as like my brain just wanders off. And literally I'm looking to the sky side and I'm like, when did that just happen? Like what led me to get into that state, you know? And I remember doing it a lot as a kid when I was in school, but lately as an adult, like hasn't been as often. But yeah, so daydreams.
I used to get in trouble for that in the first grade. They said I used to daydream too much.
It's funny, I was going to say first grade.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I remember doing it a lot.
I was very smart, but I used to daydream.
I mean, you are smart. You are smart. You was kind. You was beautiful. The next one is sleep paralysis. You guys, that one kind of fucked me up a little bit. Obviously, it's like when you're waking up, but your body hasn't, I guess, caught up with the mind per se and isn't able to move. And when this happens to me, you know what I do? Because I've heard in the spiritual realm that when you wake up and you can't move because of sleep paralysis, it's actually a demonic entity. Which I'm like, So I call on Archangel Michael and I take deep breaths, and typically it goes away within seconds. But that is literally waking up mid sleep and not being able to move thy body.
That's so
Healing
scary.
dreams, it's so scary. Healing dreams, you know, that one I'm not too familiar with, Nichole. I think you put this one on the list, but
I think it's just that you can heal, like you have some kind of magical power and you can heal people in the dream with whatever the magical power is. Like,
has that happened to you? I don't think I've had one of those.
I want to say I've had maybe one, but not often. It's not one that I get a lot. This next one I get a lot.
The lucid dreams. The lucid dreams are when you know you're dreaming. You know it's fake, but you can't escape, because how do you get out of being in the state of lucid dreaming, right? Those are kind of scary. Those give me anxiety in the dream. And usually like right before I'm about to die is when the dream ends. Nightmares, Freddy on Elm Street style, that, I mean, anxiety to the T and max. I mean, they're scary, right? It's probably involving some kind of like scary energy. It's kind of like fear.
Do you ever have them so bad that you wake up crying?
I've never woken up crying from a dream, but I've woken up, this sounds wild, but I've woken up knowing that people I've been involved with have been up to no good. So it's almost like you wake up with things that, and literally, there's something with the number 2 for me. 2 months later to the T, it was confirmed. But yeah, my guides usually wake me up if something significant's going down. Like, so when our uncle died at 2:21 in the morning, I knew he had passed because I kept 1 seeing it, and 2 was confirmed with one of our mediums, and 3 our medium friends, and 3, it kept coming up. And the whole family was awake at that time. We later confirmed. Anyways.
Yeah. I think that happened to me like the next night, and I texted you guys. Yeah. Like I literally just woke up right now and I wanted you guys to see the time.
Yeah. You're like, I have to text them, otherwise they won't believe me. Prophetic dreams are kind of exactly how they sound, seeing things in your dreams before they transpire in real life. And that does happen to me really often. Have you had one of those?
I haven't, but my grandma had something similar to that where she was visited by someone in a dream and they were telling her about some outfit or something in their closet. And that was like the proof for their parents to know that like they were visiting and they were okay. Like, tell them about this sweater that's on this side of my closet in my room. My grandma's like, all right. So she woke up and told him, and yeah.
One of the mediums that you're interested in getting mentored with that we were talking about yesterday.
She says she's not doing it. She never responded to me.
Oh, that's a bummer. It just
I was
means
gonna
that something else is coming your way.
message her son, be like, hey, remember me? Can you put in a good word with your mom?
Wait, she says she's not mentoring? Really? I'm surprised.
She said she had taken a step back just for a little bit to focus on, she just needed, we all need that self-care time.
Yeah, for sure, especially doing this work. But she had mentioned, and it wasn't in a dream, but she had gotten really interesting information like that, where like there was something about a will and it was like in the state of England or country of England, and no one knew what the code was except the person that had just passed, and she was able to channel that information. So think about getting that kind of information, but like in a dream, and that applies to the prophetic dream type. And the last one is reoccurring dreams. Reoccurring dreams are ones that you have over and over again. And have you ever experienced one when you're like, okay, you live off there and the last time you had the dream and then you pick up where you left off? Because that's happened to me before.
Like in the same day?
No. Say not same day, but like same dream that seems to continue over the course of time. And it can even be like years since you've had that dream.
I have like the same type of dream, the same kind of recurring dream. And then sometimes I wake up and I'm having a dream and it's a really good dream. I'm like, oh man, I wanted to finish that. And I'll go back to sleep and sometimes I can finish it.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite.
That was me this morning with my dream that I didn't have the time to continue. So whatever. It always happens.
I need to come.
With the U, not a no.
Yep.
Anyways. So, have you heard of astral projection, Nichole?
Yeah, but we're not there yet.
So, let's talk about lucid dreaming, guys. Lucid dreaming, just get a little bit more specific. It's a dream where you, as the sleeper, you can actually become aware that you are dreaming. So, there's a state of realization that, like, this is a dream and you know you're dreaming. And you can actually control some of your thoughts and your physical body within the dream. I don't think I've ever been able to do that, but interesting fact.
You've
right?
never been able to control your body or your thoughts?
Well, not when I'm usually in like my lucid dream. It is what it is. I'm not in control.
Have you ever, in a lucid dream, when you realize that you're dreaming, have you ever acknowledged that it's a dream?
I think I tell myself that it's a dream so I can calm down internally in the dream.
Internally, okay. Have you ever acknowledged it to whoever's in the dream with you?
No, have you?
I have. I actually did that recently. And there's this kind of debate about if you should do that or not. They say you're not supposed to because they get mad.
Who's they?
I don't know. They, them, the
The
people.
alternate dimension you went to go visit in your dream state.
So yeah, I had a dream and I was watching Guardians of the Galaxy that night. Mm-hmm. And I went to sleep and had a dream, Guardians of the Galaxy type of dream. And I was being shot at, like in the galaxies. Mm-hmm. And I was so scared. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. This is just a dream. Like, whatever. I'm not even worried anymore. And they got so mad. They got so mad. And then I think I woke up soon after that. There's this Instagram page I follow, and she's on TikTok. Check her out, guys. Her name is Anti-Matrix, and she does all these really cool dream stories. Like people send her in scary stories about dreams or like glitches in the matrix, all kinds of like it started out with glitches in the matrix and then it just spiraled into now just any kind of stories, but they're really cool. I love it. And she's like, I'm a little woo woo and I'm into like this like other stuff. So yeah, and I think she said that she did a story recently that involved like her and her daughter and it like happening to her daughter, I think. And she's like, oh my gosh, I've never actually experienced this or had it be so close to home where somebody was like acknowledging it in the dream. But they also say don't ask for the date or time in the dream. But then I've heard, because they get mad, right? Because they get mad, whoever they is, they get mad. But then I've also heard that that's a really good thing to do because it helps you focus to think about, okay, what date is it? You maybe not know you might not know the time, but you would know the date. You'd be more likely to know the date. And there are some things that you can do to check to see if you're awake or dreaming. And so one of the things that I heard is you can look at your hands. And if your hands look normal, you're awake. But if you look at your hands when you're in your dream, like they're not going to look like our normal hands. You might have 4 fingers. They might go in different directions. You can also do this, like push on your palm. So what happens when you push on your palm in real life? It stops, right? But in a dream, it might go through your palm. So then that's how you know. Oh. So that TV show I was telling you about, and that's what she did, right? Because she was having these like sleep paralysis, and she put a note above her bed, and it said, "If you can read this, you're awake," or something. And so when she was being visited by this like demonic presence or whatever it was in that show, when she was being visited, in the show, what happened? Oh, she was trying to read it and she couldn't. It was blurry. So she was like, oh, okay, like this isn't real. I'm dreaming. So that was her test, right? So the scientific versus is it not? And then I think there was some part of the dream that when she woke up was like in her bedroom. So that's where that show makes you go like back and forth. Anyway.
Yeah.
Tangent. It's really good. So yeah, those are just some things to keep in mind as far as lucid dreams.
So what about astral projection?
Never done it.
Have you heard of that?
Heard of it. Tried it. Sorry, tried it. Never have been successful in it.
Tried it in being awake or in dream?
No, being awake.
Yeah, same. Actually, no, I haven't tried it awake because I don't even know where I would start. But in a dream, apparently astral projection. So when you're actually like seeing the future or getting a predictive dream, that's considered astral projection as well. Because you've skipped into a timeline in a different state. Like your soul and your psyche has essentially traveled to a different timeline. Or the timeline that's reminding you that you are on your path for your greatest and highest good. And that's actually one way that you know. Like if you get deja vu pretty often, it pretty much means like you are on your path and your timeline for your greatest and highest good.
Oh.
Wild. I almost wonder how we can do it. Yeah. I almost wonder how we could astral project consciously in our waking state. And I've heard of people that know how to do it where they literally can like, it sounds so weird, but so true and accurate. They can project themselves into space and see the Earth's grid and the grid of the Earth that is covered by fear and that is actually covered by light. And apparently I've heard of one of our people that we know that did this, and she like woke up crying and like screaming. She was sleeping in this instance, but she can do it while she's obviously awake. But she was speaking to that on her podcast, And she said she woke up because her husband's psychic too, and she was just like crying because she was seeing the reality of what our earth and the current paradigm that we're in is at.
Oh, so let's jump back to the sleep paralysis because I was really interested in sleep paralysis because I think I've had it maybe once. You said you've had it a few times. I know people that have had it, and I've heard the scientific explanation for it. But there's a lot of spiritual explanations also. So I kind of wanted to cover some of those and like some of the darker ideas because you said also that you read that it's like a demonic. Could be demonic. Okay, so there are some different theories. So the theory could be that it is a ghost that is coming to visit. The theory could be that it's like an alien visit or like an alien abduction. We're kind of into aliens. What do you think about that? Like,
I could get with that. I could. The demonic part, I think, is a little bit more something that I've experienced, but
yeah. So then there's also the idea that it could be a demonic visitation. And then have you ever heard of shadow people?
No.
Or like the night hag?
No. Like, you
Oh,
mean
okay.
like La Llorona?
No,
right?
but
different.
So there are reports of like shadow people that are often seen when people are experiencing sleep paralysis. And so they sometimes describe it as like a man and like sometimes it's just a figure, sometimes it's a man in like a top hat, dressed in all black. So it can be, there's different explanations for it. And Necronomipod did an episode on it. I should have written down the episode number. It was actually really good. Where they spoke about.
We're going to manifest them following us too.
I don't even know if we follow them.
Okay, well, we can make it happen.
Yeah. But yeah, they did an episode and they were talking about like shadow people. And it's kind of scary. And so I wanted to share a story. It's so funny now I'm thinking about it. So I shared a story in episode 1 about the ghost that I saw. And it was when my cousin was coming home. And this other this other story I'm about to share involves that cousin too.
That is so interesting. Also, I just needed to tell you, you have such a sultry voice. Like you have a bedroom voice. I was like, oh, like I'm the annoying one and you're like the sultry one.
Oh. I mean, we'll see. I'm sure some people hate my voice and love your voice. Thank you.
I don't know. You're welcome. Okay, so your cousin that comes to visit you.
So my cousin, this fucking cousin, may he rest in peace.
God rest his soul.
God rest his soul. I love you so much. He was staying at my house. And oh, you know what? This was, I think, before I saw the ghost, because I think I remember after we moved out of that house, I went to go live at my grandma's house. So anyways, he was staying at our house, kind of similar situation, right? He was always going out and partying. He came home late, came to our house, and he was there to like babysit me because I wasn't old enough yet. My mom had to go to work. And he woke up and there was like a figure of a black shadow, big dark figure in the room. He freaked out, right? He told my mom. So what do? We go to my grandma's house and my grandma gives us a bunch of holy water and we had to take it back to the house and we had to bless the house. So there we are throwing fucking holy water in all the corners of the house, praying to get rid of whatever it was that was there. And I'm terrified. I was maybe 10 or 11. Yeah, it was probably 10 or 11. If that. I don't even know if my brother was born. No, yeah, he was born, so I would have been like 10 or 11. And I was so scared. I had like my back up against the walls because I didn't want my back to be exposed and have anything come and like get me. And then I was terrified to be in that house after that. I was like, what the fuck? Always bringing shit in.
Was this the house that
And
you showed me recently? The one from
no,
the
that was the house where I saw the ghost. This other
Okay.
house where we had the experience was a house that I used to live in with my mom. That's like a mile or two from where I live now. That's really close by. But anyways, then as I got older, I learned about sleep paralysis and I was like, oh, that's probably what it was. But I think my cousin had a lot of darkness attached to him, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a shadow person or something. But anyway, that was the sleep paralysis story. Anyway, so it could be ghosts, it could be an alien visit or abduction, it could be demonic, it could be a shadow person. Now, different cultures have different theories of what sleep paralysis is. So, Canadian, and I don't even know if this is the right term, guys. Do not come for me, please. This is just what I got online. Canadian Eskimos. I heard Eskimos isn't PC anymore. But they attribute sleep paralysis to spells of shamans who hinder the ability to move and who provoke hallucinations of a shapeless presence. So again, right, just that kind of figure. In Japanese tradition, sleep paralysis is due to a vengeful spirit who suffocates his enemies while sleeping. In Turkey, sleep paralysis is called karabasan, I think is what Google told me it was, which translates to nightmare. And it's similar to other stories of demonic visitations happening while you're sleeping. In Vietnamese culture, it's called ma de, which translates to being held down by a ghost. So far we have the demonic, we have the ghost, we have like the shadow, kind of. I don't think any of these. Oh, no. Yeah. Okay, we do. And then in Nigerian culture, a female demon attacks during dreaming and provokes paralysis. And that's often referred to as the devil on your back. And I just want to know why the demon is female and why it's not male.
Same.
You know, it could be either or. And yeah, so then the modern manifestation, because a lot of these are going to go back to like traditional folklore or just, traditional stories from that have been passed on from generations. But now, like more modernly, it's being attributed to the alien abductions, like we spoke about earlier, which is just gonna, keep you unable to move like while you're awake. And why is that? Is that because the aliens just brought you back? Is it because they're about to take you? Are they doing their thing while you're in bed? I don't know. I can't wait to do alien abduction stories.
I can't wait either because I think it's a lot more frequent than we like probably realize.
I'm going to make you watch Fire in the Sky before I do that story. If anyone hasn't seen Fire in the Sky, watch it. It was like my favorite movie in the 90s. One of them.
Alien abductions actually happen, you guys.
No, I know. Watch Fire in the Sky.
Is it based on a true story?
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Why not?
Because we know people that have been abducted. We know it's real.
Yeah, Gabby, this is real shit, just because,
no,
things, I know it's real. We can't hide under a rock unless it's the rock. Then catch me under there. But no, we like have to like face these things that really happen.
I need to get off this fucking planet. This is my last lifetime. We are done, you guys. I need to go back to the motherland. Anyways.
We're going to party without you. Anyways, so that's it. Sleep paralysis could be any of those things. Yeah, what do you think? Which one did you resonate with the most as far as like the different cultural theories of sleep paralysis.
I really loved the Vietnamese one, Ma Day, for sure. And I even appreciate the one from Turkey, Karabasan, because I think ancestor work and just like the stories they had, the practices, things that have been carried down by tradition that we in our modern day society have really forgotten, that shit is top notch. Like we have friends that are doing that work and bringing it back, and that's part of their, mission in this lifetime in the galactic war that we are going to get to. But I think there's something to it, especially if the ancestors have been, talking about it for years.
I don't know. It's crazy because, right, there's the science and then there's, but we can't really explain this by science. Just like that TV show. Watch it, guys. Evil. It's not as scary as it sounds.
Yeah. So,
also, go follow Auntie Matrix on Instagram.
That's actually what I wanted to say. Good. She's really cool. She's cool.
I love her stories. They're like little bite-sized stories, and they're just so cool. They're so cool.
So what's interesting about that? So our mentor, she was saying the people that do the kind of work that we do, she essentially is like, you escape the matrix because you're awake. And the people who aren't awake are actually living in the matrix. But we actually have the conscious choice to live in the matrix doing this work. Because, not living in the matrix probably looks like living in the middle of the desert under a rock with like no clothes. That's an extreme, but that is a reality. Apparently there's people that do that.
I've only seen the first one still, and I'm still not quite sure what it is and what it isn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways.
So what are your takeaways? 444, as we're saying that. I download 444 into my system. That's a Saturn number.
Takeaways. Journal if you can, guys. I would love to get back to journaling my dreams, but I wake up at like 4 a.m. on the regular and I can barely function and get out of bed. There's no way I can sit down and journal. When I used to have more time, that's when I was journaling, when I didn't have such an early rise. But a lot of times, especially for people that are intuitive, that are going to receive messages, a lot of the messages can be received in your dreams. And I wonder how much of that too might even just help with memory retention. I wonder if it'd be like a good memory activity.
Yeah.
Brain health. And what were you going to say?
Just that don't feel bad if you don't remember your dreams, because it's pretty common.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a lot of people do remember them. Anyway, that's all we got. I'm excited to get out of birthday readings, even though they were fun. We have
yours was really fun. Yours, I loved mine, but I really liked yours too.
Mine was really fun too. Yeah, I did really like that. Yeah, I'm excited to get back to things, and I'm excited to venture into alien stuff.
Super excited for the aliens.
Yeah, you're gonna have to watch that movie though. You're gonna have to.
I'll make time for it.
It's so good. Oh my god, we'll have a movie night. It's so good. You'll like it.
With
or not? I mean, it was like old. It's like 90s, huh?
90s movies are the best.
But like, it's like not like that kind of 90s movie. It's yeah,
low quality.
Not like the teenage heartthrob. Yeah, it's like poor quality because it was like early 90s, and then it was set like in the 60s or 70s. So like quality wise, it's not great because I remember a lot of times it would be on TV like really like right after it came out. But it's really good. Anyway, that's all we got.
That's all we got.
All right. We'll see you guys. Oh, we'll see you guys next week for 4th of July. Happy birthday, America. Hey. We're going to do something American and patriotic for that episode next week. So stay tuned for that.
And America. Leave us a review if you feel so called.
Even if you don't feel called, can you do it anyway, please? Please and thanks.
Because we need them. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Okay, see you next time. Bye.
Bye.